listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. My name is Ken Lawler. I'm the developer of the LOZ app and the LOZ Podcast Network. And we have another episode of LOBR. And we're talking to David Payne. David, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic, sir. Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, and Dave, of course, is the CEO of LOBR. And you are doing some really interesting things at LOBR with your brand new LOBR School of Real Estate. Tell me about what's going on with that.
Ken, I am really excited about this. Last year, we committed, a couple of years ago, we committed to opening. We got it open in November of last year. We offer an in-person and an online version of the pre-test, the pre-licensing test. And then we also offer continuing education credits, which are required by Missouri Realtors and by a national association. And then we also have professional development classes. And we are so excited because honestly, this was a missing piece to some of the stuff we were doing, the benefits of membership and the opportunities for our members to gain professional development access. And so this was a great piece to add to our membership benefits. And it's been incredibly successful. We're having a tremendous amount of positive feedback about it, not just from our membership, but from the community as well.
Well, and you were telling me, like, a lot of times you'll outsource this online, or you'll take it to, you'll subscribe to a service that provides this, and you guys decided to bring it in-house and make it truly a real school and in person. And that really makes a difference. I think when we got through COVID and did online, everybody went to online everything. I think we lost a little bit of what it means to actually be in a class around other people, hearing questions and getting different scenarios. And you guys kind of are bringing that back with this, aren't you?
Oh, I tell you, you're 100% right, Ken. There was a tendency that education in general was going more towards an online version of that, just slower at pace. And it had been for a few years, maybe a decade or so. But having said that, it wasn't showing tremendous results. Pass rates were lower, class passing was lower. There were lower expectations by the Department of Education for online than there were for in-person. And all of the exact same reasons that you're talking about. You don't engage, you're not interactive in an online scenario. Now, some people learn great with online, and that's fantastic, and I have no problem with that. We do offer all of our pre-license and stuff. It's available through our online school as well. And if that works for you, that's great. But for the most folks that we work with, or the majority of them, in person gives them this unique opportunity to not only better understand the material and make sure they pass the test, especially their first time taking it, but it also gives them a different interaction with those around them and the instructor, who, by the way, is just phenomenal. But it gives them that opportunity to interact and gain so much more than they'll ever get from doing it online. And the way that most people learn is an interactive style. So we brought it back. We're doing in-person classes for pre-license, for brokers, for professional development, and for continuing education classes. And we're offering those opportunities to boards around us as well at a significantly reduced rate, so that we can help those smaller boards who can't opt to do this for free for their membership, put them in a position where maybe they can. And that's a benefit for their membership.
I mean, that's amazing. And I know you do everything at LOBR, but you are not teaching these classes. And so we want to bring in the master instructor. So we got her backstage. Let's add her in here. Barbara Head, master instructor, LOBR. How are you?
I'm great, guys. How are you?
Yeah, Dave is a do-it-all guy, but he can't be everywhere. He has to sleep. So we got you.
He is a superhero.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to, you're kind of like running the school. I mean, this is a big endeavor. Tell me, how did you get started in all this? Like, where did you come from?
Well, I've been in real estate. Let me do it this way. I've been in real estate since 1978. Y'all do the math. It's been a long time ago. My father-in-law got me started with that. Owned my own brokerage for over 22 years. Retired. See how that worked out for me.
Yeah.
I ended up moving to Texas and ended up with a license in Texas. So I am licensed in Missouri and Texas. But the last 13 years of my career has been dedicated to training, recruiting, teaching, and coaching. So yes, I'm licensed just like everybody else, and I can list and sell property, but that's not my focus. That's not what I do.
By the way, Kim, I am not licensed. We've had this discussion here previously. Neither Kim or I hold a real estate license. We don't need it. There's no point in it. But so no, we can't answer your questions. This was all barred.
But Dave and I met at a social one evening. We used to own a local resort, and I was tending bar, and he was demanding his
That
drink.
now is making sense on how Dave met you.
We were very busy, and he was demanding his drink, and I kept ignoring him because,
Like most women do.
the guys introduced me to him and said, "Hey, did you know that Bard is a realtor?" And his eyes lit up, and that conversation went on for a few weeks. And with that, here I am. So I'm as excited as Dave is, though, for this school. It's bringing a very big piece to the puzzle for this area. And of course, yes, you can do it online, but with our in-person classes, you just get so much more. If you don't know anything about how to pass the test, to read it online or to follow it online, trying to understand it is almost impossible.
There's a lot there. I mean, I think people think, oh, it's so simple. I'm going to go sell a house, buy a house. What do I got to do? I got to get a contract. I mean, there is a lot of information you have to know as a realtor.
True.
Not only information you have to know, but how you have to parse that information out and what you can and can't do and what you can and can't say. I mean, there's a lot of rules in real estate, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of that. So
that is true. We don't want anyone to go to real estate jail.
Right.
But where it comes in at is because of my years of experience, and it's been so much more good than bad, but you do have bad experiences and things that happen. And so I'm able in person to be able to kind of drill down in what I call layman's terms and tell stories that are both good and bad to kind of relate to whatever topic we're talking about. And I know when I was trying to get my license, I went in person, and that's what brought that home to me, is when I would see that question on the test, I would remember the story that I was told.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of, we have a huge pass rate. Now I need to see a 9 in it before I'm done, to be honest, because my sole focus is not just to teach the material, but to teach it in a way that everybody can go in and pass the test on the first try. So right now, I think we're sitting at 83% pass rate for the first time, which compared to the Missouri average is huge. I think Missouri average, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, is somewhere around 35, 36%.
Yep.
But it's simply because I go over it and over it and over it and over it again. But it's a lot. And so they have to spend Monday through Saturday. I've got to do 48 hours with them. Regardless of how I get through that material, 48 hours. The state has to have 48 hours. So I have plenty of time to kind of drill that in and go over it and do practice exams with them. So when they leave there, I encourage them to go get their tests the next week, just as soon as possible. And then of course, they have to come back and take a 24-hour class. Then that's all included in what they're being charged before they can actually get their license, even if they pass their test. But it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm not teaching them how to sell real estate. I'm teaching them how to pass the test.
And now, that is a great segue into professional development, because
correct.
That, I'm telling you, is it's not a money maker. It's not a revenue stream for professional development. It is strictly a cost covering. Just get as many of our membership and others, because it's open to anybody, into a class where they can have an opportunity to be successful. That's all. We just want to provide you with the opportunity to be as successful as you want to be.
Well, and you guys, I mean, what I hear from you, based on the numbers you just told me, if I go online to take my test in Missouri and I try to do it by myself, I've got a 30% chance of passing the test on the first time. If I come in and I see you in person, we sit down, I get to take advantage of all of Barbara's experience. She gets to tell me all the stories and all the other people in class that are asking questions. I've got an 85% almost chance of passing the test. It's a no-brainer for the way I look at it. Like, why would you ever not go take the test at LOBR when you can have an 85% chance of passing that the first time versus a 30% chance? Nobody wants to be taking tests again and again and again, right?
Correct. A lot of it, people have the mindset that I can do it at my own pace if I do it online. I don't have to take off work if I have another outside job. You know, I'm not missing out on anything other than 48 hours behind a screen, because it doesn't matter. You've still got to do 48 hours, whether you're sitting in a classroom or you're behind the computer screen. But there's nobody to ask the question to. Sure, I guess you could pull AI up and ask them to explain it if that's what you're into. But I think that the stories that I'm able to give, the breakdown of exactly what that means, and the interaction within the other class members and the questions that they ask is huge. I think that's huge. Now, one thing I do want to mention is we don't just do salespersons, we also do brokers. So I teach the brokers class. So we've got a lot of salespeople out there that have been in business long enough and they're now ready to move on to getting their broker's test. And we also do that. So
that's a 48-hour class as well, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have so much going on over there, and the school is going great. You start classes all the time, so just go to the school at LOBR.net, call them at 573-374-6646, and they'll tell you when the next class is. But I think what we've decided today is that you can take stuff online. A lot of people do, but if you want to have a 50% more chance to pass that test on the first time, you'll come and see you guys in person. Plus, I think the commitment of sitting in a classroom and actually doing it without all the distractions of trying to do it online. Look, we've all tried to do stuff online. We kind of are half in it. You got the dogs coming in, you got the kids screaming. Get to these classes, see Barbara. They've truly built something here that's going to make you successful, and you're going to get the confidence and success right out of the gate because you have an 83%. Barbara wants it at 89. Barbara wants it at 90. I know, but you got a huge
92.
Okay, 92. But you have a huge chance of getting this done the first time, and that's going to give you the confidence to become a really good realtor and to start your career. Don't try to do it on your own. These guys have done this time and time again. Their experience, you're going to gain a lot of knowledge, and just I always tell people, you don't get so much from what I tell you to do, but when I tell you what not to do, because I've made those mistakes, and you guys are the same way. Like, don't go down this road. I've done it. It doesn't end well. Come in here, do it right. Make sure you're taking the test, and it just is exciting the things you guys are doing over there at LOBR.
Thank you.
That is so nice. Thank you.
So one thing I do want to mention is, yes, we teach the classes for them to go get their license. But what we're really excited about coming up very quickly is we're doing, and it's not just for new licensees, but it's from a license to a living is what we're calling it. And this is kind of where my coaching would come in. And you already have your license. Now what do I do? How do I build this career? How do I move forward? There's so many small brokerages out there, and I'm not criticizing by any means, but they're also trying to make a living and build their business, and they don't have the time, or maybe some of them even the knowledge, to teach a new realtor coming in what they need to do to build a business. So our class is coming up for license to a living, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong. But that is where we're going to spend approximately 5 to 6 hours with these guys, either brand new into the business or maybe just kind of at a standstill in their career and they don't know what to do to kind of move up or to get over that hump. That's what we're going to focus on, is what you need to do daily, different activities and different mindsets, things like that you're going to need to actually build a good career in this business.
Taught by somebody who brings 40 years of experience and coaching and enormous success, over that time. That's part of the key to their success is is Barbara.
Barbara's been there. Like that, we can just come up with a big thing. Barbara's been there. Like we know what's going on. But Barbara, thank you for joining us today. We're going to have you back on some episodes coming up, but we had a really good deep dive into the school now. People, I think, know what's going on, and they can sign up. They can get on those classes. They can get started on their careers, and then also all the other things you guys are building. Thanks for joining us today on the LOBR episode of the podcast network, and we appreciate your time, and we'll have you back on soon.
Thanks for having me. It was great. See y'all.
She is great.
Yes, she's amazing. I mean, she's got a lot of experience. Dave, we've talked about the school today. I think it's amazing. We have a bunch of episodes coming up. We're going to be able to get into a lot of different topics on here. The things you guys are doing at LOBR are above and beyond what most, look, you guys are creating something that's a little different and a little special. And we love promoting that on the podcast network. I would tell anyone who's looking to get into a career of real estate, make sure you go to LOBR, talk to them about the stuff they're offering. Get started on a great career. Dave's there to help you. Barbara's there to help you. Kim's there to help you. Ben's there to help you if you need a drink at the bar. So thanks again for another episode. We will see you guys on the next one. Until then, remember, real estate's a great industry to be in, but you got to do it right. Right, Dave?
That's it, Dave. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll see you guys later.